is Yessicha Shafira Adhistyani. I'm from class PBE2 and my student number is 225200027. This time I will tell you about the International Phonetic Alphabet, or we say it IPA. Okay, first, what is the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA? Is an alphabetic system of phonetic notation based primarily on the Latin script. It was devised by the International Phonetic Association in the late 19th century as a standardized representation of speech sound in written form. The IPA is used by lexicographers, foreign language students and teachers, language, speech language pathologists, singers, actors, contracted language creators, and translators. The IPA is designed to represent those qualities of speech that are part of lexical, and to a limited extent prosodic sound in oral language such as phones, phonemes, intonation, and the separation of words and syllables. To represent additional qualities of speech such as tooth gnashing, lip sync, and sound made with a cleft lip and cleft plate and extended to of symbol might be used. IPA symbols are composed of one or more elements of two basic types: letters and diacritics. For example, the sound of the English letter T might be transcribed in IPA with a single letter T or with a letter plus diacritics T, depending on how precise one wishes to be. Often, cells are used to signal broad or phonemic transcription. Thus, T is less specific than and could refer to either T or T, depending on the context and language. Occasionally, letters or diacritics are added, removed, or modified by the IPA. As of the most recent change in 2005, there are 107 52 diacritics and 4 prosodic marks in the IPA. Most of these are known in the current IPA card post below in this article and every website of the IPA. And then phonetic alphabet divided into three parts. The first is long vowels, 2 diphthongs, and last consonant. Let's talk about vowels. Here it has 12 sounds and divided into two parts, long vowels and short vowels. Okay, I will start from the long vowels first. In the long vowels, it has 5 sounds. Start with E. Start with E. E. For example, sheep. Sheep. Next, U. U. For example, you. You. Next, U. For example, girl. Girl. Next, O. O. For example, so. So. Next, last, A. A. For example, car. Car. Okay, next, short vowels start with E. E. For example, ship. Ship. Next, U. U. For example, put. Put. Next, A. A. For example, pen. Pen. Next, A. O. O. For example, leather. Leather. Next, A. A. For example, Kate. Kate. Next, A. A. For example, sun. Sun. And last, O. O. For example, hot. Hot. So let's move into diphthong. Into diphthong has 8 sound. Let's start from this. Ear. Ear. For example, here. Here. Next, A. A. For example, name. Name. Next, U. U. For example, poor. Poor. Next, Oi. Oi. For example, toy. Toy. Next, O. O. For example, no. No. Next, ill. Ill. For example, where. Where. Next, I. I. For example, my. My. And last, O. O. For example, how. How. Last, we're gonna talk about consonant. It has 24 sound and divided into 2 parts. It is voice and unvoiced. In here, the unvoiced sound is sound with an orange background, and the white background is voice sound. Voice sound. Let's start from the unvoiced sound. Okay, it is p sound. P, p. For example, put, put. Okay, next, t sound. T, t. For example, type, type. Next, ch sound. Ch, ch. For example, che, che. Okay, next, k sound. K, k. For example, come, come. Okay, next, f sound, f, f. For example, four. Next, th, th. For example, thing. Okay, next, s sound, s, s. For example, sun. Next, sh sound, sh. For example, she. Okay, next, h. For example, happy. Okay, so let's move to the voice sound. Let's start from b, b, b. For example, pet. Next, d, d, d. For example, door. Next, j, j, j. For example, jam. Next, g, g, g. For example, come. Next, v, v. For example, very. Next, d, d, d. For example, do. Next, z. For example, zoo. And next, su. For example, fishing. Next, m. For example, main. Next, n. For example, nose. Next, ng. For example, angry. Next, l. For example, lake. Next, r. For example, red. Next, w. For example, one. And last, j. For example, yes. So I think enough for me. The presentation about International Phonetic Alphabet or IPA. Thank you for attention and see you guys.